I thought I'd need to spend almost $1,000 for the popular brand name rack to fit the funky bike collection the family has. I was looking to increase load space on our Toyota Tundra by hanging the bikes off the back instead of partially dismantling them all to fit sideways in the bed. I did have to do some modifications, but I feel I'm still $700 better off. My son has a fat tire bike, I have a fat tire bike, my wife has a cruiser, and my daughter has a 24 inches girls cruiser with 3 inches thick brick tires. I purchased 3 pairs of 18 inches ladder straps to replace the originals for where the big tire bikes sat. I had to trim them thinner to fit the original buckles, but it was less than 15 minutes work to do that and swap them out. I have just returned from a 600-mile round-trip camping expedition, and even though the bikes are 47, 40 and 35 pounds respectively, the rack did not budge at all, solid as a rock. Now of course there are compromises for a big saving. The uprights that strap to the bike frame can be awkward, but once in place do the job excellently. Another tip is to practice loading. The pedals for each bike need to be in a certain position for everything to fit and not damage paintwork. For the long trip we just did, I spent 10 minutes and removed the pedals, although I would not bother with this just heading over to the beach. When loading up to return from camping, I gathered quite a crowd of interested onlookers who were amazed at the convenience this rack affords. This bike rack was very easy to assemble. It actually bolts to your hitch, which makes it a very tight and sturdy attachment, not like some that use a typical hitch pin. Attaching the bicycles onto the carrier is also very easy, and was easy enough for me to do by myself. Each wheel of the bike is anchored with a plastic strap very similar to a snowboard binding, and is simple and fast. To anchor the frame to the support bar of the carrier is a nylon strap along with a movable rubber bumper to keep from wearing or chipping the paint on your bike. I mainly bought this bike carrier to use behind my camper, and after using it a couple times now I am impressed with how sturdy it feels when mounted to the hitch and how well it holds the bikes in place. It's always hard shopping online when you can't really see a product or compare it to similar items, but after using this a few times I am very confident in it. Especially since I can't see the bikes behind my camper when driving. I just bought this 2 weeks ago and took it on a week-long trip to FL with 2 bikes on it. So I haven't fully tested it with 4 bikes, but I have put the 2 right next to each other and had no problems. I have an old Acura MDX with 2 inches hitch. It was super easy to install out of the box, 20 minutes max, 8 threaded bolts with washers. It attaches to the hitch with another bolt that required a wrench. The unit pivots to 90 degrees, with no bikes, and flat with a quick spin bolt that requires hands only and takes 15 seconds to switch back and forth. I took it off easily and stored it efficiently after the trip.